Hello and welcome to yet another video on the Lighting Workshop YouTube channel with me, Charlie. I'm a freelance lighting designer and all-round lighting nerd, and today is yet another random tip or trick in ETC EOS family consoles. Today we're looking at the offset tool, in particular offsetting odd and even. This is again something that I think people see in the soft key menu and just think, what's that? You can even see it in the more soft keys area there, so, offset. If I click that, it just pops up there. And we're going to look at an application when using offset. Now I use offset a lot in my work. In particular, the same scenario just keeps coming up, and it saves me a lot of work, and I think it's worth sharing. So anyway, if you've seen the past two videos or whatever, you'll recognize this show file called 4VLs, whereby we had 4 VL 2600s in the show file and nothing else. That has now changed, and I have now doubled our number of fixtures. So we have 8 there. All I've done is copy them over. There is nothing special about them. They are literally just 1 through 4 has been copied over through to 5, and there they are. So before we work with offset odd and even, I'm just going to create a scenario on the screen that's a little bit more suitable to using offset, or at least gives you a better visual representation. I'm going to do that by selecting our fixtures. I'm going to pop them in the air, and I'm going to just point them down and put them a little bit higher. There we are. So there we are. Now we've got what looks more like, it's a very bizarre arrangement, but nonetheless it looks like an overhead moving light rig. I would never put my fixtures in this orientation, generally speaking, but you know, there might be a scenario. But they're all uniform. This is purely for the functional purpose of you being able to see what's going on. So just so you're also aware, group 1 is channels 1, 2, 3 and 4, and group 2 is 5, 6, 7, 8, and group 3 is all fixtures collectively. So I am going to now show you what the offset tool can be utilized for in regards to odd and even. So I'm going to give you a scenario. So let's first of all give our fixtures some light. Now this was from a previous video where we had this in a queue. You'll notice obviously our fixtures at the back are not doing that. That's because they didn't exist before then, but I'm just going to quickly fix that by going group 2, recall from group 1. There we go, and then I can update that. Fabulous. Now using odd and even in offset is a really efficient and quick way of grabbing odds and evens selections of your fixtures, and it's just something that I think is worth me doing a very small video on, just because it's fabulously effective. You may find yourself often needing to create odd and even groups of your fixtures so that you can quickly select odd and even sets of your fixtures. For example, this one, this one, this one, and this one, and using those to create offset colors, offset effects, I don't know, something, whatever. So how would we go about using this? So let's say, for example, we grab, let's create a scenario. Let's say we want our fixtures to be all staggered red and blue. A very quick and easy way we can do that is by grabbing all our fixtures like that. So I've grabbed all my fixtures there, except now what I'm going to do is use soft key 5 on this particular, on the on PC software, which is offset. And then you get this daunting looking thing split up, which looks wonderful. You get a variety of different options, but I'm particularly looking at spacing right now. And this is probably one of the simplest things you can do using the offset function, but I just think it's fabulous. Using these tools, we are going to able to very, very quickly create a staggered red and blue look without having to without having to type in each selection of channels, make that one red, type in a bunch of other channels and make those blue. So how do we go about that? Well, one way we might be able to do this is by grabbing our fixtures and making them one color. So let's say the blue. And then let's say I now need a staggered red. So how would I go about that? Well, you grab your fixtures, you select offset, and then in spacing, select odds or evens. This is done by channel number. In this case, it doesn't really matter. I'm going to select even. And you can see that our selection has immediately changed in augmented. It has now deselected these fixtures here, and we're now selecting only the even channel sets. And now I have that selected, I can do whatever I want with them. So I'm going to quickly grab, or let's go with let's go with Terry Red. Why not? Let's go with that. So I've selected Terry Red, and now Terry Red has been applied to those channel sets. I can then release them, and there we are. It's a really quick and easy way of getting that done. Now, of course, this does not only apply to color. Any parameter that you can meddle with a channel, you can do utilizing the offset function with odd and even. This is just a way of doing it. Another very effective thing that I always like to do, so let's just sneak those out there, is say, for example, like me, you regularly like creating odd and even sets of groups, especially with moving lights. This is a very, very effective way of doing that. We just grab a fixture type, so in this case group 3, we utilize offset, we select odds, and then I'll record that to group, say 11, and I'll give that a label and I'll call it moving light odd. Very cool. And then we grab our group again, we use offset, we select even, and we record that to group 12, and I'll label that moving light even. And now I have group 11 to do whatever I want with them, and then group 12 to do, oh sorry, that's group 1, group 12 to do with whatever I want with them. So I can very quickly call up these staggered channel sets, whereby if you didn't use this function, you might have to go to +4 +5 plus, you know, instead of doing that nonsense, you or you know, even that doesn't quite work because that's not odd and even. You can very quickly create these odd and even channel sets, which always end up making programming fabulous, because you can just very quickly go, oh, I want a nice staggered you know, look, and now I can just use these channels. So I can go these groups, sorry, group 11 at 3/120 and group 12 at 3/113. There we go. Fabulous. And now very quickly and efficiently I have just made this staggered red and blue thing, which, as again, as I've said before, you can also utilize the offset tool without storing them into groups. We can use it on any parameter we like. So I could, let's just for some reason go group 5. Is it group 5? No, it's group 3. Sorry, group 3. Let's just grab those, and then we offset and we say I only want the odd channel numbers, and I want to put those ones in, I don't know, let's just say that gobo there, and now those have been applied, and then I could very easily just go ahead and repeat the same thing again. So group 3, offset, odd, oh no, let's not do that, we just did that, let's do even, ML controls, and let's do a different gobo for that one, that one. So my point being is you can utilize, this is just a means of selecting channels without having to type in numbers, using odd and even with offset. Now, as I mentioned before, within the offset function, there is, oh, not view, hold on, within the channel offset function, you'll notice there are a whole multitude of different functions available. This video, I'm going to try and just keep on odd and even, so I'm going to restrain myself. And it's also worth me saying that I haven't entirely got my head around the full length of capabilities that offsetting allows you to do with the other functions here, but nonetheless, I think this very simple purpose of selecting evens and odds using the offset function in EOS is a massive time saver, but also encourages you to create cooler looks if you're the creative but also the programmer, because it stops you from having to go, oh, now I've got to type in this number, then this number, then this number, then this number. You can just very quickly do that. So if you're really against the time, really against time pressure, for example, if you're doing a 1-day hire in a venue and you have no show file to base as a base, you just have to build it from scratch. This is a really small but efficient and effective tool that you can utilize. So yeah. Anyway, I hope this was helpful to at least one person, and if you have any questions or you saw me doing anything and you were like, what the hell has he done there, then please do pop it in the comments below. If there is anything you would also like me to do a video on, pop it in comments and I will do my best to do a video on it. I'm also happy to do some videos on creative lighting design techniques, because lighting design is my thing. It's primarily what I focus on in life. So if you want me to go over some techniques that I tend to utilize, my specialism is primarily theatre and dance, but I do delve into concerts and festival stuff as well, and I am a fairly new user of Grandam 3, so if that interests someone, then do let me know. Nonetheless, I hope that you've enjoyed this video. As always, give it a like. If you haven't already, please subscribe, and any questions, queries or concerns, pop in the comments. My name's Charlie, thank you for watching the video, and I will hopefully see you in the next one. Bye.